The objective of this video is to demonstrate the 4 main steps for using MaestroBid. The first step consists of importing your subcontractors. You can do this step with manual entry, but we recommend for convenience that you use one of the following 3 import options: Maestro Star, Microsoft Excel, or Microsoft Outlook. If you choose Maestro Star, you must start with a configuration in the General submenu in the option External System Configuration. Choose the Maestro Star Local System Type. Then click the Refresh button. Then enter your Maestro username and password. Select the desired company in the database name. And then click the Test button to check your connection. Finally, click Save. Once all this information is entered, you can then proceed with step 1. Click Import, enter the Maestro username and password. For your information, the import comes directly from the suppliers table in the Maestro software. Remember to click Save to confirm your import. Let's now look at an example of a new import using Microsoft Excel. First, click the Import button. Then, click Open to select your file. Then, match up the fields in your Excel file with those in MaestroBid by filling out the source field. It's important to fill in all the mandatory fields. If a field is not available, select one in the default value column. When finished, click the Import button. This is where you'll be able to make some final adjustments. For example, you could define the preferred communication mode for each of your subcontractors for when you invite them. You can manually correct any variable. Once everything is to your satisfaction, click Save. The system will automatically import all your subcontractors, except where there is an error. For example, ask to replace all blank fields in the province column with Ontario. Once you have made your corrections, make sure that your subcontractors are selected and click Save again. Now let's look at the last import possibility, this time with Microsoft Outlook. Click the Import button. Similar to Outlook, you will have access to all your different contact lists. But unlike Excel, many fields will already have been imported by default. Validate them and make any necessary adjustments. Once again, it is important to fill in all the mandatory fields by using the default values when required. When you have finished, click the Import button and finally click Save to confirm your import. You are free to choose the import method that you prefer. Let's now go on to step 2 to create the project. Here is an example of using an existing project. Start by entering all the relevant project information. Pay special attention to the box Open to All. Once checked, this function makes the project accessible to all subcontractors who are registered in MaestroBid. Therefore, if you only want to invite your personal subcontractors, make sure that this box is not checked. This function is also available in Activities, the difference being that once it is checked, only this activity will be viewed by all subcontractors. MaestroBid has its own web portal, but if the client also has one, you can enter this address in the Document Location field. This address will appear when you send your invitation by email or by fax. The Activities tab is where you indicate all the project's activity codes. To add a new activity code, simply click here. You can do a quick search by code. Select the desired activity codes and then click Save. The Summary Description tab is simply the description of the project that will appear when you send out your call for bids. The Plans and Specifications tab is where you can add your plans and specifications on MaestroBid's web portal. Click here to add a new document and fill in the ID, description, reference, and version fields. You can also insert your own internet link for this document so that it can be referred to at the time of call for bid specifications. In finishing, select your file name, that is for your plan or your specification, and then the box Display, and then the Add button. If there are certain plans that you do not wish to display, simply uncheck the appropriate box and they will no longer be visible. The Contacts tab is the contact list that you want to display in the invitation. You can also add a contact here, and this completes step 2. Step 3 consists of actually creating the call for bids. This is also where you create your mailing list. Let's continue with our example. We will note the number of subcontractors that we want to invite according to each activity code. Therefore, 3 for activity code 3000, and so forth. To add one or more subcontractors, click Add Subcontractor. It's possible to filter the subcontractors by province, country, or activity code if this information was previously provided in the subcontractors file. First, choose the activity code, then the search button to display the corresponding list. Select one or more subcontractors, and then click Add, and then OK. This will add them to the list of invitations. Before proceeding to the official invitation, you can refer to the list of subcontractors that you wish to invite for each of the project's activities. Furthermore, you can also view this information by choosing in the submenus Bids, under Reports, Bid List. Select your project and click Print. You can also save this report as an Excel or PDF file. This table will also allow you to follow the progress of answers received from the subcontractors. Take, for example, a project that has received replies. This table indicates that you have invited 4 subcontractors, and of these, 1 has not yet replied to your invitation to bid. It is therefore still at sent status. 2 have accepted the invitation. They are therefore at the waiting for bid status, and 1 has refused to bid on your project. It is therefore at the declined status. You are now at the last step, sending request for bids. This is where you send your initial call for bids to the subcontractors and where you will be able to eventually send reminders. Before you officially send the invitation to bid, it is possible to view the invitation email that the subcontractors will receive. To do this, click Preview. You will see your project's heading with your contact information and the project's relevant information. The subcontractor will decide whether to bid on your project or not based on this email. Once your list of subcontractors is validated, click Send. This table will also allow you to send reminders to specific subcontractors according to their status. Various options are available. For example, you might decide to send a reminder only to subcontractors who have not yet replied. Or you might decide to send a change to those who have accepted your invitation. By default, the system will choose the subcontractors who match your criteria. It is always possible to change the selection manually by checking the desired subcontractors or by using the buttons in the Selection toolbar. At the moment, MaestroBid has only one example invitation. Other samples will be added eventually. MaestroBid offers many more options and functions than we have presented in this video. We recommend that you refer to the Help section, where you'll find many procedures and reference documents to facilitate your MaestroBid experience. And this ends the presentation of the 4 primary steps for using MaestroBid. We encourage you to send any questions, comments, or product improvement suggestions to support@maestrobid.com.